Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Thank you for joining me today. This is a continuation of the Chevy Bolt EV recall saga. I just got off the phone with our local dealership here in Valencia, California, and I had originally called to speak to the service manager. However, that person wasn't available, so I spoke to the scheduling coordinator, who is immediately under the service manager. So here's what I was able to get. At the start of the call, I was asked to provide my VIN number as well as some identifying information, some personal information that they could look up in the database. And since I already had a service at this dealership, they were able to find me pretty quickly. And they verified to see if the car was affected by the recall. So while she was looking me up, I made the kind of snark remark about, hey, aren't all Bolt EVs under the recall? Isn't that something that should just be a thing? And she said, well, it's not that they're not under recall. They are all under recall. She said, but some Bolt EVs are on a higher priority list for with regards to their VIN number in the system. So if I would have called and my car was on a high priority list, they would have been scheduling with me already part orders and whatnot. Moving on, she did kind of touch base on how this dealership is handling the orders. And she said they're ordered one at a time from GM, and they're ordered based on these VIN number categories. So if you're in a high risk category, if your car has been identified to be one of those vehicles that has a higher risk than others, then those orders will be placed with GM. At this point, we all know that there is no remedy, so she did confirm that there is no remedy or fixes at this time, and we do have to wait for an actual replacement part to be manufactured. There are no estimated times of availability when it comes to the parts. So the parts themselves are very expensive, so they are going through their own diligence, trying to make sure that everything is quality controlled properly and done to GM's higher spec now as they stand. And when I asked about actual service portion of it, how long it would take, whether it would take the 2 days that originally were speculated, or some people have said that they could rip it up and put it back together in less than a day, 6 hours or so. She said that anything she would give me at that point was pure speculation, and she actually wasn't allowed to give that information because for some cars it takes less time than others. I don't know why she wouldn't share. The only thing she did say is if there are any safety concerns, if there are any worries about the recall and the way that GM is handling things, and also if you feel that you need to file a complaint about the recall and its process, you can call the safety hotline for the NHTSA. And here's the number. I'll repeat it twice. 1-888-327-4236. That's 1-888-327-4236. Again, that's the safety hotline for the NHTSA. I thought I'd take you guys along. However, when I made the phone call, I realized that I couldn't record because the phone and the camera are the same exact device, and me having just gotten back from my vacation, my computers are all over the place, and I have to get my office back in track and everything else. So I apologize for not being able to take you guys along for this one. However, what I will do to hopefully make it up to you guys is either later on today or tomorrow, I will give the safety hotline a call and ask some questions about the recall. Hopefully they can give me some answers. Otherwise, I'll try the dealership again. Maybe I'll get a different person, more knowledgeable. And also, I'm also considering visiting them a few times here and there every month, just to make sure that the information that we have is actually valid. I know things change day to day, when you're under a situation such as this, and things could be changed, modified on demand without prior notice. So I did ask, for the record, I did ask the question why GM's formal notice of recall came, I think, 3 months or so after the original recall was released, and she couldn't answer that. Actually, she kind of went silent because I think she knew that that was a mistake that was made. And again, this is me speculating, but you know, when GM formally announced to the press that there was an issue, why wasn't that email that came out that I made a video about and copied and pasted the email into the description, why wasn't it at that same time, if not the next day released? Why did it take 2 or 3 months or whatever it was, from August? So she said that my car was placed under recall in August of 2021, 2021. And, so that's August, September, October. So that's 2 months ago, plus minus a day here or there. I think that this recall was known a lot further back, and I think that there are delays. And I mentioned that. I mentioned my distaste for the communication that was being sent out by GM and Chevy, and I wanted to know why I didn't get anything from my local dealership saying, hey, there's a recall on your car, regardless whether GM already published it or the press is all over it. I'm not the press. I don't work for the dealership. Therefore, I should be the one that gets 3 or 4 of the same communications, because then I know. If, for example, the notice from GM didn't arrive for whatever reason, my email's broken or whatnot, then what do? I don't get any information, and then I'm in the dark. And then there's a potential for my car going up in flames. So this is a pretty big deal, and I did mention that. And one of the last recommendations that I have to you, the viewer, is that if you're at a point where you're not getting any of the communications, if you've seen some of the videos that I've shot and you haven't been getting the same communication that I've put out there, then you may want to either go to your local dealership or actually just make a phone call to them and find out if your contact information is accurate. You should be getting communications from them about your Bolt EV. If you're not doing so, then you may want to check and make sure that at least your email address is accurate, because most of these things that are coming from the dealerships are going to be via a postcard, like a recall postcard, or email. So I didn't get anything to my house through the mail, I should say, but I did get emails, and I'm getting emails from GM and Chevrolet. So if you're not, and you own a Bolt that's affected under this recall, then you may want to consider contacting your dealership and making sure that they have your accurate information, because they will use that to communicate with you on when to schedule your Bolt EV's replacement, as well as any other future notices that may come out. Anyway, I'll leave you guys with that. I will call, like I said, this safety hotline, so we shall see what they have to say. I'll probably do that tomorrow. I'm a little slammed from all the stuff that's been piling up from last week still, so I'll try to get to this as quickly as possible. I did burn a lunch calling the Chevy dealership, but it's a little bit more information than we had, although not very new information. It's kind of the same as what we already knew. So I want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys are well. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. And until the next video, I want to thank you guys for watching.